So hi and welcome. This is INTERGEO TV with our next expert talk. And we are really happy because right now we dive deeper into the world of digital twins. We will talk about how to make them so accessible and why they are so impactful. And we look at this from a perspective from an expert who started his career in the financial sector, but right now he's really a well-known expert. We met him, the INTERGEO team met him at the 3Dice conference in Prague, where INTERGEO and 3Dice also said, okay, all about reality capturing, we have to partner. And this was, the first step, the first thing where the first impact started. And right now I got to know Michal Ukropec, CEO of Twinzo, via LinkedIn, because there he's a real huge influencer. He has over, I think, 125,000 followers who really interact with him, and he has podcasts, and he is a speaker at several conferences. She's from Slovakia, Bratislava. So, dobre den, hello, Michal, grüße dich, hi.
Ciao, ciao.
Oh, also ciao, ciao. That's common? That's common? Saying ciao, ciao means ahoy, ciao, ciao, hello?
Actually, the most common greeting in Slovak is ahoy.
Ahoy, yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the sea or sailing or whatever. We don't have sea, but ahoy is the most commonly used greeting if you have a good relationship. If you are, let's say, in not a close connection, it's dobry deň, as you said. But ahoy, ciao is mostly used between people who know each other very, very well. But I have to correct you in one tiny thing. I am not coming from financial sector, but from taxes and accounting. But I didn't do this at all. So I'm an IT guy at heart, and this is just my education. It helps me a lot in the business. but I was, because I'm not now anymore programming, but I was programming since my 16. So I'm pure IT guy, and I can sometimes challenge the financial guys. Are you sure with this number? Because if you consider depreciation and whatever, then we have to be more careful.
Okay, so let's correct. So you're an IT guy and a businessman, so maybe it's better.
I try to be.
Yeah, and you just your passion grew within this technology you develop also with your company, Twinzo. These are digital twins. So how did you grow your passion for this? Why did your passion grow for this?
Actually, it started at the high school, so 30 years ago, because I was fascinated by all the 3D stuff, even though I'm not a 3D guy. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if someone asks me about this or that aspect of anything, I have some rough idea, but I am not a 3D guy, actually. But what we do have on board, there are some 3D magicians and also a lot of people in Slovakia who are very, very top-rank 3D guys worldwide. This is quite funny because Slovakia is a very tiny country with 5 million people, but the concentration of 3D guys seems to be higher than in other countries. So this is unexpected, and it actually did not begin as a digital twin story. It began with people tracking. Let me show you. So this is on the 5th September 2014. Mm-hmm. This is the very, very first build of what we now call Twinzo. At that time, it didn't have any name or whatever. It was just a test. Also, after 3 days, so the other Michal, our chief MacGyver officer, he started his career on the 3rd of September, and on the 5th, this was the first build, which is now Twinzo. And it was about people tracking, so it was RTLS stuff, real-time location system. And we just a little bit later discovered, because I said I want to see it in 3D and I want to see it on a phone. And I don't know, maybe 2 years later, we realized, they call it digital twins.
Mm-hmm.
But our strong focus on indoor positioning shaped our journey and the whole path in a little bit different way than the other ones. Because for most of the guys, it's about scanning and digitization and planning and simulation and predictions and this kind of stuff. But we are, or at the beginning, very, very, very strongly focused on indoor positioning. Because outside it's easy, but once you come into the building, it becomes much more interesting and complicated.
Yeah, absolutely. Because indoor, you always need Wi-Fi, you need connections, you need people with devices in their hands or just some tags within their cards or within their registration things. So this is really a difficult thing within indoor.
And that's something what made us special, because if you look on the digital twin market, there are plenty of kinds actually of digital twins: simulation, web-based, planning, construction, manufacturing, small things, big things, Google Earth, and so plenty of stuff. But if you go to the building level and you want to see the condition of a particular building, and the building is running already, so it's not under construction right now, it becomes to be different. And the other solutions, actually, I don't know why, but they didn't think or didn't go in this direction. Always special. With good and bad.
One thing you already mentioned, Michal, it was that you prioritize the smartphone and tablet usability, and not the traditional desktop application. So why did this decision come about to work here within the mobile generation?
Yeah, the thing is quite simple actually. Twinzo is my second business, and it's a spin-off from a company called Infotech, which I founded 25 years ago. It will be now, 26 years in December. And we did mobile applications since 2008, 9, something like that. If you remember, or some of you at least, Windows Mobile, Windows CE, the tiny display with the stylus, and these romantic devices. And we had two big customers who were strictly expecting that they want to manage their companies from the phone, so that they are very, very ahead of time. And they're quite big businesses, like 100 million and 500 million euros. And the CEOs were like, I don't want to manage the company from a computer. Am I crazy? No, I want to do it from the phone. So we did this for long years. And once we began to work on these tracking technologies in 2014, for me, this was very obvious choice. I want to sit on the phone, done. No discussion. And it brought of course, a lot of challenges, because if you look on the, let's say, generic digital 3D whatever stuff, for most of the guys, because they are surveyors, architects, construction guys, everything has to be super precise, Ordnung muss sein. Yeah, there must be an order.
Yeah.
And this laser has this accuracy and that laser has different, and this is better, this is worse, la la la. Yes, in their case, it's important, because if I begin to build the building on someone else's land, it can be, or it will be an issue.
Okay.
But in the indoor positioning technologies and in manufacturing, if it's 1 meter here or there, no one cares actually.
Okay.
Because this is a level of detail which no one is interested in.
Okay.
Because this is not the documentation of the facility itself. It is more about the performance of the facility, and if the wall is here or there, no one cares. And especially in manufacturing, if you consider that they do at least twice a year re-layout of the factory, because they are getting new projects, closing other old projects, and they are improving things. So if they have to update all the time everything, they wouldn't do anything else, just the updates, and there is no business case for this.
Absolutely. And so this is the difference to the traditional geodata management, where you work with complete accuracy, and so there it has to be really on point and exactly. So so you just mentioned the differences, and so just that we understand it better, we just talked about the indoor navigation and the real-time data when we see things that are processing within manufacturing buildings and so on. So could you walk us through a typical Twinzo project, or just describe us with a practical example where we can better understand what you really do at Twinzo with your digital twins?
So this is the presentation and the unions. So the whole presentation is built around fun facts, because we are seeing in the factories unbelievable things. In this case, it was with the unions, because usually you are German. In Germany, everything is a problem, especially when we talk about data privacy and this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the unions would say, okay, so you cannot really survey all our employees at every time. So they will say no.
Yes,
not
and
at
these
all.
are the unions. We want this as well. We're like, what? Why?
Okay.
Because what you see here is, so they have so-called Gemba walk. Gemba is the Japanese word for such situations. So you have the big TV. In the factories, usually you have just a paper table, and you draw all the numbers and charts and things, so how the factory is performing. In this case, you see the logistics manager showing what is the trajectory of the forklift working on for the previous shift. And this is the thing, and he picks someone else, and then he sees, okay, this guy operates in both buildings, so I want to see the data, and you see, they have 2 buildings, and he works in one building and that building, and he was there 10 times, 3 times, and you can begin to ask sometimes unpleasant questions. And this is actually the thing. And so we can bring the visibility of the data to another level. In this case, it's about logistics, but we have cases like production monitoring, quality, environmental data. For example, I can show you actually how the whole story began. It's an old project, but it still leaves a very good impression. Give me a second. So this will be live, so this will not be a presentation. Share.
But the example you just showed us was for prevention and health for workers, also very helpful to see the issues within your digital twin model.
So the thing is that, for example, logistics is a non-added value process. So they are just bringing the boxes and taking the goods away, and it's very hard to measure this. But there is a significant influence on the production, because if the material comes on the assembly line late, then the production stops. And if the production is not running for 5 minutes, it's 5,000 euros. It's not a cheap thing to have plenty of people there who do nothing. So logistics monitoring is a crucial thing for factories. And when you combine it with something what we call like Uber for factories, then you can even manage this. And if you avoid 20 minutes of micro stoppages daily, then in the end we are talking about millions. So the business case is very, very straightforward. But what I wanted to show you from different fields. So this is an old project, 2019. This is an office building in Budapest. If it lags, no problem, but it runs very, very nicely even on a phone or a computer. And when Germans are freaking out because of people tracking, so these are the people in the office life now. Okay, and it's in Europe. It can be done. It can be achieved. It just needs some paperwork and a good use case for the people.
And this is real-time data. So
Yes.
actually we are looking within that building, that office building, that factory.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this is an office. So you see here two guys chatting at the bar, two guys looking probably out of the window. Here is someone sitting on the sofa.
Yeah, it's lunchtime. It's lunchtime. They are just having a break, something like that. I don't know.
No, it's almost 2. Nah.
Yeah. Okay. So you think they should go back to work?
They should always work.
So start an alert up there.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then they come and say, "But it's nice, but in be plenty of meeting rooms. Please show us make meeting room." There is no picture. Okay, let me pick. I don't know, asteroid. Okay, it's 25 degrees. CO2 level is excellent. It's for 4 people, so we can go there. And also the humidity is fine.
Okay, this
and this app runs on site.
So we can really see here the digital reality in real time when we go within the meeting rooms or find where someone is exactly in that building.
Yes, so that's what you see for facility managers. If you check the CO2 level, you see that these two guys in the focus room, they don't work anymore because there is no oxygen left. And this is an old stuff. This is 2019.
Okay. Wow.
But then Corona hit the business, so offices are not in that good financial shape than they used to be. So there are plenty of cases with 3D live digital twins can be achieved. Then it just depends on the creativity and the business case on customer sides. And why I showed it to you, that if there is a good case for the people, even the unions don't do any problems. But of course, if the company culture is toxic, that's a problem, but everywhere.
So, but the thing is also within the factories, you showed us the logistic example there. So when I'm, for example, in Bratislava, but my company is somewhere in Argentina or in, I don't know, somewhere in China or Shanghai, somewhere like that. So I can see in real time what is happening actually within my logistic halls, within my production units, within the manufacturing units within that factory.
And that's exactly the point, because our typical customer is a large international corporate, and they have plenty of locations. And usually if you want to see, or if you want to do an audit of that particular site, you take 3 managers, you send them to China or to Argentina or whatever, and they look at the site. Of course, the local team will know that these guys will come, so everything will be tidied up, everything will be in the perfect order. But once they leave, the mess gets back in shape again. And with the live view, you see, okay, this is happening, this is not happening. Do we have an issue? Why is the production stopped right now? And you can begin to ask questions. The funny thing, however, is that right now let's say, developing countries are getting digital in a better shape than the old good Europe, because Europe is stuck somewhere in non-digital era. So everything is built around Microsoft Excel and 2D layouts, but the developing countries are heavily investing into digitization, and it's quite interesting to observe this shift.
So is there any advice you could give to organizations starting their digital twin journey? So how can they prepare their data? How can they work with you? So what are the first steps they have to do?
First of all, they should stop seeking ROI on innovations, because the ROI is the knowledge they gain along the way. The budget shouldn't be big, it should be quite small. Let's say, let's give 2, 3, 400,000 euros yearly into 10, 20, 30 innovation projects. So we are willing to invest, I don't know, 20 times 10,000 euros to startups, small, whatever businesses. Make a public call. Guys, we seek 20 projects, please propose, whatever. Okay, they will propose, you will pick those 20. Of course, 16 of them will fail, but you have 4 companies for 200,000 euros where you know, okay, these guys can deliver what they promise. And for a multi-billion euros business, 200,000, 300,000 is a peanut. It's the higher managers' yearly salary. So, and it's one guy, and this is a way how to gain the experience, and then they can begin to build on this, because of course such a project needs some stakeholder in the company, and and they can build it. So there is no low-hanging fruit like in a month we know what to buy, what not to buy. This doesn't work like that. But this is one of the ways how to do it.
Okay. And so you're really focusing on really huge companies who are working international, who have many facilities on site and so on.
They seem to be, or it is not about the ego that we want to do stuff for the big guys.
But your technology really.
But they have to have some digitization level. And if you look at the small companies, they are often in a worse shape than the big guys. So in those large companies, even though they are quite behind the IT world, they are still in better shape than the small companies. So it's not about the size, but it's more about the mindset and the support. And what we are actually looking for is our companies having some kind of digitization department. Okay, we have the data, we have the 3D models. How we get these two things together, and then Twinzo pops out. Okay, this is the way how to do it.
Michal, you mentioned that your digital twins really remain a truly living and accurate reflection of its physical counterpart. So what's the biggest challenge you face in ensuring that, because I think physical realities change at every second. So how does your system, how does Twinzo really runs this at real time and creates it, really, truly living?
So here is an important disclaimer needed, because it's not exact and it's not super precise. Okay, this is important to mention, that most of the customers in this case is actually they don't want to see the sad reality. Okay, because if you need to digitize, in this case a factory, in most cases it's an old one. It's not a brand new one, it's an old one. And there are dirty walls, oil on the ground, mess here, mess there, some gas leaking of whatever pipe. So they have their things they actually don't want to see. And here is the difference in the mental approach to digital twins. So if a scanning guy comes, he wants to have everything super precise so the customer can be satisfied with the end result. So because this it can be then used for the BIM model, for moving the things within the factory. Can we get this onto the crane, or if we can't, we have to go around and things like that. Yes, for that case, this is important. But when we talk about the operations of the facility, this is absolutely unimportant, and they need to see roughly how the site looks like. Plus, if the customer comes or an audit comes, they don't want to show them the sad reality. So the precision is actually a negative thing in this context. So the precision is really something what you need to consider in the context of to whom are we talking to. If to the C-level, this is the answer. If we talk to the facility management guys or construction guys who move things in the factory, it's very, very different answer. And the challenge is not actually the technical stuff. It's the mindset, it's the digitization level, it's the ROI calculation, is now to convince internally, not from our side, but to convince the higher management by the, let's say, middle management, which is really motivated. But the higher management is like, oh, I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no, la la la, all the time some excuses. So the internal approval processes, that's the real challenge, not the technical stuff.
Got it. Thank you very much, Michal. Right now I understand. You really do the digital twins for the operational things within companies, within factoring especially. And so you're not scanning in real time what exactly is happening. Because when I had Pete Kelsey here last time, he really talked to me about the scanning details of capturing Alcatraz, for example. So he really worked in details because it's for heritage conversations. So he really had to work on point with all the teams. And it was so fascinating. But this is for your use case, for your business case, you're working with them. So not necessary. So got it. Yeah, these are two different things.
In our case, it's actually negative.
Interesting approach. Yeah.
If you need to sustain the cultural heritage, you want to see every single half millimeter, every hole in the wall.
Absolutely.
So I need to know, do I need to fix it? Do I want to fix it? Don't I want to fix it? Because it's a hole after shooting in the Alcatraz and they killed this or that guy, so the hole has to stay there. What do I know? But
absolutely, and they detect new things because they look so precisely at walls and within buildings, and so they really detect new things, and so this is completely.
But in our case, we don't care.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. So. In my introduction, I mentioned that you're really active at LinkedIn. So when you monitor your work there and your daily life as an influencer, which you are with over 125 followers, so which current technical developments excite you the most, or what do you detect there as trends, or what's really fascinating you?
There is, so Gaussian splatting is definitely something what catches the attention. The issue, however, with AI is the running cost of all the GPUs. So this is something what I'm really curious how this will be solved, because even we have some AI projects, and I don't mean 3D, but let's say data analytics, and we are moving the software to our infrastructure because the cost of cloud AI tools is just ridiculous. So there is this mismatch between what the technology allows you to do with how much it costs, where is the business case. On the other side, if you choose the cloud-based technology to have it immediately, but on this other side, it pulls every single euro from your pocket. So this is a great thing, but on the other side, also a business challenge.
Mm-hmm. And do you also think robotics, many people say, okay, 26, 27 will be the year of robotics because when we talk about AI, so large language models learned from a 2D world, as we say, they're just large language models. We can explain to them what is there, what is next to us, what is left, right, what are 2 or 3 steps ahead. But right now, robotics, who have large language models to learn within them, walk into 3D worlds, and they can now discover things in 3D and learn from that. So do you think that will also change the way we learn about AI and how AI can be integrated within our daily life or working life?
I think there are 2 different answers to the same question. So if the technology will be available, I can imagine that, because you can see all these AI-based classification tools which recognize the stuff on the shop floor in a very, very good way. So I can imagine that this can be done. But can it be done, or let's say the knowledge of humanity is something very, very different than to applied knowledge in daily lives.
Mm-hmm.
And if to use ChatGPT on the phone or whatever, it's very, very straightforward. If you want to use something like this in a large corporation, it's a very, very different story. And especially now when Europe is in trouble, let us see what the latest news with Mr. Trump will bring or take. No one knows what is going to be tomorrow with him. So the companies have to invest, and if they want to achieve, for example, this, it has to be a heavy investment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and when they are facing the uncertainty of tomorrow, are they going now invest millions and millions into digitization of something what will, who knows what cost? But this is something what is happening in Europe. But if you take China, with endless money, no one asks about the ROI, just do it. No.
It could happen. Okay.
Yes. But will it come to Europe? Not from China, or not direct, because of course we don't want that the Chinese take also even the last percent what they even don't have yet from our existing knowledge. Let us see.
Yeah. So we are at our last remaining minutes right now for this interview. And to finish it, we have some very quick personal questions to you. I would like to ask you, and you just answer in very short sentences. So what app do you use most daily?
Outlook.
Outlook, okay. Organizing mails and okay.
Yeah. And Chrome with LinkedIn, but Outlook is, I think, I needed to check the statistic, but I think Outlook.
It's interesting. Okay. So who inspires you?
Different people in different domains, but I like to read the books of Nobel Prize winners, because you can you actually are getting for 20-30 euros the highest available knowledge of whatever, and that's good on one side. But on the other side, when you see the stupidity around you, it's sometimes frustrating, but that's life.
Very interesting. If Twinzo was a car, what would it be?
Audi.
An Audi, okay.
Audi. I'm an Audi fan. So an Audi. Very, very nice, powerful V8.
Yeah.
And so to the rain, to the theater, to the mountain.
Also really earth it to the ground a bit, I think. So
yep.
Imagine there's a fairy granting you just one wish. Which technological innovation would you implement immediately if you could?
I don't know.
Anything you need in your daily technological life?
Money printer.
A money printer. Oh, I don't know if that would be legal or if that works. So
Wouldn't be definitely, but it's a fairy, so
yeah.
it's her job to solve this legal stuff.
So maybe in the future there will be a Twinzo currency, a digital currency or something
Oh,
like that. So then
I
your
don't
wish will
think
come
so.
true.
I don't think so. I think for the innovation is needed the necessity and to be hungry. Because you can't innovate with millions in the pocket. It doesn't work like that because we are just throwing the money out of the window without any result. But if you take 3 guys, smart guys, you give them 50,000, you can get something. But for 10 million and 50 people, you get nothing. A lot of work, but no useful result in the end. So okay.
Awesome.
So I don't know really.
So, stay curious, stay fascinated, and stay so interested in innovations, and just go ahead with Twinzo and the next innovation. Maybe you will find. And thank you very much for this interview, Michal. For sharing your insights. And I hope you felt well here within the interview.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Dennis. Greetings to all the INTERGEO TV guests and people watching this. I don't know, maybe call it podcast or something in this format, and let us see if we see each other in Germany.
Absolutely, yeah.
We'll check it.
Yeah, maybe we see us in October in Frankfurt, and we will send you the invitation. I think we will see several 3D guys over there. We also met in Prague at 3 Dice conference, and let's have a check at the INTERGEO website, and then see you soon. Hope so. Thank you very much, Michal.
Thank you, Dennis. All the best. Ciao, ciao.
Tschüss, ciao, ciao.